tea lover, hi tea community. I'm Naoko, owner of Key to Teas, and I am so excited to share with you this new tea box, the Craft Brew Tea Box. And of course, all of the teas that I carry, Key to Teas is really, I treat them like a child of mine, and I love them all because each of them have such amazing characteristics for making them an amazing specialty loose leaf tea. And what I'm going to do is unpack this lovely box and kind of take you through the opening of the box and how to go, how I recommend to enjoy the teas. So when you purchase or you're gifted a tea box, you'll get 4 types of different teas, and I put them together so you can have the most kind of explorative journey, whether it's by taste, and they're all related to each other, but the terroir of where they're grown, and I'm so excited to share that you travel around the world for this box as well. So let's start with Silver Needle. Silver Needle is 100% buds, and sorry, I'm gonna correct myself. It's a Silver Needle is about 90% buds, and this one from Fujian province has leaf attached to the bud as well. And you'll notice that you'll get a tea in a lovely tea pouch. For Silver Needle, it'll come in this size because this is how we shot the tea box, and I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna offer it in the 1 ounce. Is very voluminous. I have this is the only tea that I have brewed for this video, but you can also find all the other teas. Mostly I'm active on Instagram, so you could see the photos and what have you, but I just finished brewing Silver Needle, and you'll find both the hot brewing instructions as well as kind of like the blanket cold brew steeping recommendation, which I highly recommend, which gives the cold brew gives different nuances. But Silver Needle, visually stunning. So iridescent silver hued buds with leaves, and if you go closer to, you'll see that the colors are very variegated in terms of having different types of green and silver and brown, and that's the typical style of this Fujian Silver Needle. It's afternoon as I'm shooting this video, so I decided I opted to drink Silver Needle. I actually haven't had Silver Needle for quite a while. It's not my day-to-day beverage, teacup. My day-to-day is, if you're following me, it's matcha. And then in the afternoon, I definitely have the Bourbon Vanilla Rooibos, which is not in this box, but it's the Bourbon Vanilla Black Tea, which is also amazing, which makes a great afternoon tea. So back to this beautiful white tea. I think what I love about cold brew is I highly recommend it during the summery seasons, especially if you're looking for something extra special to drink on a hot summery day. But you know, quite frankly, I would enjoy cold brew teas all year round. You'll notice that cold brew is being released in many different other beverages and are readily available in stores now, but you could really easily make it at home. So the overall recommendation, it's so easy. You don't even have to boil water. So you take a teaspoon of tea and then you put it in a cup, which is 8 ounces, 240 milliliters of cold water. For those who are privileged to have water coming out of the refrigerator, which is filtered already, that's about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So usually I recommend brewing cold brew in pitchers. So put the teaspoon in your pitcher and And then you just, no filter necessary for this part, and then you just stick it in the fridge and enjoy. So that's it. And then what I love about the packaging is that you could keep your teas within this sealable pouch, and this is keep it airtight, light tight, and most loose leaf teas will stay fresh up to a year. And the next one is Pinlin Pouchong Oolong. Oh, and I love this tea as well. This is crafted by Master Wong, who was introduced to me through Beth. You can find us in conversation, how we met and how she's impacted the tea industry and how our friendship came to be on Spill the Tea Tuesday. And I love this tea because it's a green big leaf cultivar. And so I hope you can see it's this beautiful green long leaf. Ooh, curly oolong. Okay, my face is in the way. Just stunning. And this too, you'll see on Instagram that I just put, like, if it's usually a pitcher is about 4 cups. So I put 4 teaspoons of Pinlin Pouchong Oolong, and I pour the water and stick it in the fridge for, again, 6 hours. Sometimes you just can't wait, and then you kind of want to see how it is after an hour or two, and which is fine. But you'll really notice that the floral bouquet, those really natural kind of peach and apricot and honey notes come through, and it's phenomenal. You'll know. Like I have one customer whom I also call friend. At this point in time, I feel like all of the tea drinking community are my friends, extended friends. Just has fallen in love with it, and I'm just so grateful. This is something that we have in limited quantities, and the possibilities are endless. Now, before I forget, I wanted to go back to Silver Needle because you could enjoy it hot, you can enjoy it as cold brew, but another beautiful thing to do is to enjoy it sparkled. And if you have a soda machine at home, you can brew a kind of a cold. You could actually brew the Silver Needle cold brew, as I said, in the fridge, and then you can add carbon dioxide through your fizz system. I actually don't have one. I should put it. It's on my list. But if you don't have that, then you can use your favorite bottled, non-flavored sparkling water. If you really want to just enjoy the 100% tea as is. But otherwise, I really, 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 really encourage, and I've done this throughout my tea career, of blending. We call this kind of wet infusion blending, but why not enjoy your Silver Needle that has these natural, floral nose with a bamboo finish, with maybe like a light fruit, like a naturally flavored pear sparkling water or peach sparkling water. And you can see how, like, all of a sudden, I'm the type of person, who's I read recipes and like food recipes, and I start, tasting it. And you could just imagine how amazing the possibilities are endless on what flavor profiles it can create. So the third tea is the Darjeeling Sourenee. This is amazing. Also, this tea estate has been producing Darjeeling for a century long time. And if you look at the leaf, they're also kind of like Silver Needle in the sense that it also has a variegated green color, not as tippy or buds. There's just a few sprinklings of buds in there, but this too, it almost looks like a green tea because of how lightly oxidized it is. But highly recommend. This is not really necessarily a sexy way to, present the tea, but I like to touch and feel. It's a, tea is not just drinking sensory experience, but it really engages all your 5 senses. So I really like to touch my tea as well when I'm steeping it, and I enjoy looking at the dry leaf. I enjoy looking at the wet leaf, which I could actually unveil because I have the silver needle here. But I love looking at the wonderful brewed leaves, and of course don't throw this away. You can steep it for a second time and a third time, and I do that with the cold brew method as well. You drink all your 4 cups of tea, especially if you're entertaining or if you have a big family. It's like, here, 1 cup for you, 1 cup for you, 1 cup for you, 1 cup for you. That's not enough. So I quickly add more water, and then just to get in the fridge, so you can enjoy it throughout the day or the next at maximum. So Darjeeling is another wonderful tea. You can enjoy it hot. It has the lovely floral bouquet. I think you notice the theme of a lot of the teas that I select have high floral bouquet, and how it impacts taste is a big one for me. And then the last one is Bourbon Vanilla Black, which is an amazing blend of Chinese and Ceylon, Sri Lankan black teas, and it's rounded out with having real vanilla pieces in it. And as I am looking for the tin of, I do have these online. I love this. So many tins are round or, have, unique shapes, and so let it be that. But for practicality and simplicity too, I really like white. And then these tins stack beautifully, right? No wasted space because they're rectangular and they stack up, and you can see it behind me. So, if you don't have tins, then I highly recommend. They're very inexpensive. And I'm just smelling that bourbon vanilla. If you're a baker like me, or you like to eat baked goods like me, cookies, cakes, that vanilla is, I guess, luxuriously used in pastries. So why not use it for tea as well? So it adds a beautiful, the black tea has soft astringent notes, but the vanilla rounds it out, and it gives a very kind of sweet, pleasant note. And another fun thing to do is, you have 4 teas here, and each one of them are beautiful in themselves. But you can also blend. So let's see, we have the Pinlin Pouchong and the Silver Needle. I didn't include it in this collection, but I do have a jasmine silver needle, which is also amazing. The bourbon vanilla black tea is amazing because you can, let's see, I highly recommend maybe brewing up the Earl Grey, for example, with the bergamot citrus notes, and then putting that in ice cube trays. And then when you serve your vanilla, bourbon vanilla black tea cold, you could put the ice cube in your glass, and then you can have that 2-dimensional flavor profile as you sip or gulp your tea as you go. So yet again, the possibilities are endless on all these flavor combinations. I do get asked a lot on how you combine flavors, and generally just like you're building a recipe. If it's pure tea to pure tea, they work well. If it's a floral tea to a pure tea, they work well as well. You notice that, let's say the dessert vanilla or chocolate teas, they can go very well with black teas and what have you. So that is kind of an overview of this lovely craft brew box. And then last but not least, you also get 10 biodegradable tea filter bags. It's, especially if you're giving it as a gift, we don't want to assume that everybody has tea strainers or what have you, and so we just included those in there for convenience, so you could brew loose leaf teas wherever you go. And then and I created this leaflet So you'll get a leaflet in this box, and kind of like you could doodle on it. I mean, there's a lot of words, but you could, I like to write. I still like to write things. So you could doodle on this. Yeah, and hopefully you could share. As we are kind of going into, as I shoot this video, we're going into back to school season, and to the remainder of the year. So thank you for watching, and I hope you are inspired to brew these teas, shop for these teas, steep these teas, blend with these teas, and I'll see you more later. Thank you for watching. Bye.